This is some of the ways you can tell whether the stone you have is truly Tianhuang. There are a lot of fakes. I mean, there are a lot of fakes. One of the ways you can tell is you can see on the front of the stone here are these little squiggly white lines. Those are called radish lines. These are curved. They're called rib radish lines. Some have like a Y shape. Others, very infrequently, will have like a cloudy look, and that's called dumpling. But generally, if it doesn't have, if somebody's selling you a stone and they're telling you it's Tianhuang and it doesn't have these, it's probably fake. Crystal Tianhuang, that's a very clear stone, might not have that, or smaller pieces. Secondly is the color. If you notice, the color is inconsistent from top to bottom. This stone, this is more towards the center, where the color ring, which is iron oxide penetrating the stone because it's a river pebble, hasn't completely penetrated the stone, so it's white. Tianhuang is generally not the same color throughout the stone, especially larger pieces. And generally, it's lighter on the inside, and more yellow on the outside. Also, Tianhuang, generally in not direct light, is not yellow. It's more like tea or honey or chicken broth color when it's not like brightly lit. That's a good way of telling fakes, because fakes are generally the same color all the time. Tianhuang has like a very changeable color to it. Secondly, the stone has cracks in it. Most Tianhuang have cracks. That's because it's a river pebble and it rolls around and it breaks. This stone here, actually, getting back to color, you can see that it actually has three colors here. It's red, maybe even four: yellow, orange, and white. The other thing is that it has cracks, and the cracks are generally colored. On this stone, they're brownish. That tells you that it comes from deeper inside the original stone. Generally on the outside, they're more red or blood colored, like purple, wine colored. Also, a lot of times the cracks form. They're usually at right angles, or very close to right angles, because of the way that the stone forms. The cracks don't like meet like a spider, like in weird ways, like at steep angles generally. The other thing is that the stones will have skin, black skin, and usually all the skins are underlain with like a white because it's an acid and affects the stone. Yellow skin, red, white skin, black skin, and that comes from the different soils that they sit in from hundreds, thousands, even millions of years. The other thing is Tianhuang has a texture to it. It's like if you hold it and rub it for a couple minutes, it starts to feel greasier and greasier, like it's oiled. The only stones that have that quality are like true talc soap stones. That's why they call them soap stones. But this has more oily texture. Other types of Shoushan stone and other Chinese soapstones, they're much harder than talc stone, so they don't have that feeling. Tianhuang is made of dictite. It's not pyrophyllite or the other types of stones. You can get a specific gravity test because it's the densest of all of the soapstones. It's like 2.6 to 2.8 to the cubic centimeter. You can do the specific gravity yourself by just measuring and multiplying and figuring out the displacement. The other thing is that Tianhuang generally has the best carving because they've been expensive for hundreds of years, and fakes have been around for hundreds of years. and they generally have high quality carving. When I see a stone, it's got like a tree and barely carved figure. It's junk stone, and you can tell. And you know, I mean, once you notice, you can really tell. You can see the radish lines, the changeable color. Generally, even the small stones have that. The other thing is that you can feel the weight of the stone. Tianhuang generally has a kind of a greasy, very wet look. It's like oily and greasy at the same time. It's not a fatty look. And then the other thing is if you hold it in your hand for a minute and you open your hand, this stone will actually capture your perspiration. That's one of the virtues of Tianhuang. Other soapstones do not do that. And then on top of it, when you see a piece of Tianhuang and it's being sold on an auction site and they want, you know, a buy now price of $50 or $500 for, you know, a 5-ounce stone, it's bull, you know, because Tianhuang is sold by the gram weight, and high quality Tianhuang can run up to 10,000 Chinese yuan per gram, or even more. Some are actually up to 200,000 yuan a gram. And you know, it's ridiculous to think that somebody from China is selling you a piece of Tianhuang for $500. You know, you're getting ripped off. I'm gonna make a image picture video where it's showing the differences. But these are some of the rundowns. You can see the quality of the carving, the quality of the stones. You know, it's unmistakable. You know, it doesn't feel like other stones. It doesn't look like other stones. It doesn't handle like other stones, and it is not just any other stone. It's a river pebble stone that only about a ton or a ton and a half has ever been found in the last 500 years. So think about that before you buy these stones. And you know, also the stones can be red, black, white, yellow, gray, but they always have to have a yellow tinge to them when viewed in the sunlight through the edge. If they're not, they're fakes. And the most expensive Tianhuangs are actually reds. And you know, just because a stone is yellow does not mean it's expensive. There are a lot of cheap stones out there that are yellow. All right, thank you very much, and stay tuned for my next video.